So hi everyone, in today's video we will be doing our assignment 4 for our subject business process flow analysis 2. So in this assignment what we have to do, we will be building a failure mode and effect analysis for our project where we are migrating our existing learning management system to new management system, which is basically it can be either like cloud migration or we are already like updating it new app. So whatever you want to assume, you can do that. So basically in this what I will be taking, we will be migrating it to a new environment altogether. Okay, so let's understand a little bit about this assignment. So first of all, we need to understand FMEA. So it is a template or a model which is used to identify all the failures that can be there in our process of migration in this case. But in any case it will be like whatever we are doing, what can be the failure modes and their corresponding effects. So we will study all those together, and we will also learn about what are the controls that we can do. So this is a pre-hand before actually starting a project. So in this there are different teams are involved, and then all the teams will analyze what can be the potential failures that we can get and what are the effects of it and how we can minimize that. Okay, so in our case it will be learning management system, so we will be migrating it to new learning management system. Okay, so let's have a look at our already built sample. So I have this template which is already given to you, so you just have to fill the data in it. Okay, so I have process or product. So in this case we have our migration of learning management system to desire to learn MS, which is also a company, so we can say that we are migrating it to new platform, which is named as desire to learn. Okay, so in our team we have project managers, development team, IT team, QA team, content management team, and then data management team and integration team. Okay, and then prepared by will be simply the name of the author. So in this case, so it's learn every day 1311, so that will be the author. And responsibility, we are doing it as a business analyst. So let's understand, they have like couple of columns in there, so let's understand each of these one by one. Okay, and one more thing before starting that, so we will also have our FMEA date. So that is the original date when it is created, and the revised date is, when it's actually like whenever we are doing any revisions in that. So like the failures and all those effects, they are not like a one day thing, so they always needs to be updated, because sometimes when we start the project, then we get to know some more failures. So that's how this thing needs to be track of. And this is pages, so that's like it's just one page, so one of one. Okay, so now let's have a look at our each column. So first of all, it's process or product. So in this case, it will be process, because there will be multiple steps that will be involved in migration of it. And then we will have potential failure mode. So potential failure mode will be what can be the possible failures that we can get. Okay, and then their effects, and then their severity. So in this case, so the severity will be, if highest the number, higher is the severity, lower the number, lower the severity is. And the same thing is for occurrence and detection as well. So occurrence is how many times that's occurring. For example, it's 6, that means if we trial it 10 times, then it's occurring 6 times, which is a huge number of errors, right? And then detection is like out of how many occurrences we are able to detect it. So if there is like we can detect it 8 times, then means, oh, that's really a serious issue. And then based on that, we have an RPN, which is multiplication of severity, occurrence, and detection. Don't worry about this calculation, it's already in this template. So you just have to fill the values for severity, occurrence, and detection. This will be automatically calculated. And then recommended action, right? So we know the failure and modes of it. So now, what is the best action that we can take to minimize it? Okay, so that we need to give it here. And then responsibility, the teams who will be responsible for that, and the completion date. So that's what we need to enter in this column. And then action taken, so this is the action that is taken, so that we can study, oh, when we have finally implemented it, how it's improved. And then we also have a revised severity, occurrence, and detection numbers, and that will be our finalized risk priority number. Most of the times this risk priority number will be less than our original one. But that's not always the case. In some cases, it can happen that, we try a solution and then it doesn't work. Then it can be possible that this number is actually higher than that. But in this case, as we are assuming a number of things, I mean, like, all these failures are not on our experiences, it's just based on our understanding. So we will be making sure that we make improvements and we make the revised priority number lower as compared to our original priority number. So now we have an overview. Now let's understand with an example of user authentication. In our learning management system, so one of the major things is user authentication. So what can be the failures? It can be like, our data is corrupted, and then the user who are intended to get the access for that website, they are not actually able to access it because they have they already have the account, but like due to a synchronization in the data, so now they are not able to log in with those existing credentials. So that can also be the case, right? So that is also one of the failure potential mode. And then integration failure, so that's kind of like interrelated, but in this case more specifically, like user access issues, it can be there, somebody who is unauthorized, they are also getting the access. So all these things can happen, right? So now what are the effect, what will be the effect of it? If there is data corruption, we will get loss of integrity of user data, and there will be information that is not used. And then for user access issues, it can be users can lose access to the system or resources or the feature that is existing on our management system. If they're not able to access it, there is no use like building a new application, right? And integration failures, we can get some incompatibility with other systems and application. For examples, in most of the cases, if we have chatbots, right? So if there is integration failure between that, and then those features will not work, right? I will give another example too. So, for example, if there is no integration between our new and old system, right? Then the people who already have the accounts, they will not be able to access it, and they will not be able to trust this website, right? So that can be the effect of the failure. And severity, so if you see, these are one of the main issues, right? So that's why I have given like 9 priority to user access issues, right? And potential causes. So in this case, you can mention two causes. One is journal cause and one is the root cause. So the journal cause is what you feel like most likely that would be the issue. But the root cause will be detailed analysis of the issue, and and then we find the root cause. Okay, so you can list both, but I just have listed the common issues that we have. So one of the causes of the failure can be inaccurate data transformation or transfer during migration. That can be the issue. That's why data is corrupted, right? And then for user access issues, there can be failure in migration of user accounts, permissions, and roles, right? It can be possible like a person needs to be of like instructor permission, but now they are on their student role in the website. Right now they are able to see the student view, which is not correct, right? So all these can be the causes. So like the main cause, I will tell you, that is failure to migrate user accounts, permissions, or roles, right? So that can be the potential cause. And then occurrences, so I have assumed that these are like very basic failures that we can get. That's why they have like high occurrence and high detection as well. Okay, and current control, so we need to check the data integrity while migrating, or even we need to test it before actually performing it. So that can be the current control in this case. And also we need to test the role based access control in case if there is like user access issues, right? Because we need to test all the rules in this particular case. Okay, so kind of like of those current controls you need to think of. And then recommended action. So in case of data corruption, what we will do, we will implement robust data validation procedure, so that if there is any corruption, even like we detect a minor one, we can detect it immediately. That's the best action that we can do. And who will be responsible for that? Data management team, and they need to complete it by 15th of May. So you need to think all these things logically, like because step 1 needs to be completed before we actually go to step 2, right? And then action taken. So now we are assuming we already took the action. So that's we already implemented data validation procedures, and now we can see there is lower numbers in case of severity, occurrence, and detection. So initially it was at 384, now it's at 280. So like that, you need to perform all the 10 steps. So that's how you can identify number of failures, right? So if you see in this case, so I have like step 1, and there I have like different failure modes. So what you can do, like, it's not necessary you just have one failure in every process. You can have one, two, three, four, as many, right? So you can list this under one process and go on for each one. So for others, I just have like one failure modes. So that's why I'm just going with one of them, right? So that's how you can go for these ones. And don't worry about this, I will share this link in the description of the video. And thank you so much. Comment below if you find any issues or you want my help. Thank you.